Celebrity True or False.
You can't handle the truth.
That's our production volume. That's it. What do you think?
Next level. I couldn't quite hear, but
it's okay.
I'm with it.
There we go.
Ahead.
Delroy Lindo, Celebrity True or False. First up, you've been in 4 Spike Lee films, but actually turned down the first role he ever offered you for Do the Right Thing.
False-ish, in as much as he didn't offer it to me. Mm-hmm. He asked me to come in and audition.
Okay.
And I declined to audition for that.
Why?
Because I did not feel that this sounds so arrogant and misguided. I didn't feel, I was concerned that the part would not be impactful enough. And I had done this big play on Broadway called Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Huge piece of work. And I just was concerned that the part that he was wanting me to come in and audition for, I just didn't feel like it was going to be impactful enough. And so I graciously declined. Thank God he came back to me for Malcolm X.
And do you remember which role it was?
In Do the Right Thing, there are 3, they're like a Greek chorus. Robin Harris was one. Yeah. Rest in peace, Robin Harris. Robin Harris, Frankie Faison, and the third, and I cannot remember the name of the third actor, but it was to play, he wanted me to audition to play one of those 3, like the Greek chorus.
And at the time, you just didn't sense it?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't feel it. I can't remember now. I don't think I read the whole script. So at that time, they would have given me what we call sides, just lines from the scenes.
Sure.
And yeah, I didn't feel it.
You didn't feel it.
It was actor Paul Benjamin who played ML.
Benjamin, thank
the
you.
third one, yes, sir.
There you go.
You're that department's good, man.
We are all listening and attuned.
Come on.
That's how we roll here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Come on.
Yeah, you're not.
Paul Benjamin, God bless him.
Yeah.
So it was Paul Benjamin,
right.
Frankie Faison, and Robin Harris.
Have you subsequently told Spike that you didn't think the movie was going to be as impactful? Have you
No,
told
not
him
the
that?
movie. No,
the role.
Clear.
The role.
The role.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. Well, you still wound up being
he
didn't hold it against you
Thank
at all.
God.
Not at all. Next one, Delroy Lindo, true or false? Well, we know this is true. You portrayed legendary pitcher Satchel Paige in the movie Soul of the Game.
I did.
But is it true you never played baseball a day in your life before this movie? Is that true?
It's true, man. So wait. Hold up.
That's fine.
No. Hold up.
Yeah.
There is a game called Rounders.
Okay.
That I guess it's British.
Okay.
And it's a very similar concept in as much as it's played with a stick, a bat.
Yeah.
And there are 4 bases, and you have to hit the ball and run around the bases. That's the closest that I ever got to playing. And it's called Rounders. But no, I never played baseball. And there it is. Look, and God bless. I just actually spoke with Kevin Rodney Sullivan, the director. We actually texted, and we were remembering. He said to me when Kevin and I met, and I said to him, "No, man, I've never played baseball." He didn't believe me. And then we went across the street to Central Park, and he had me to pitch. And he said, when he saw me pitching, he believed me.
Just one throw? One pitch is all it took?
That's all it took, man.
You're a great actor, but not that great. That's funny. So how did you get up to speed? What did you do?
I had a lot of help. I had God, I'm terrible. Maybe your department can help me.
Yes.
There was a young man who was the nephew of one of the great baseball players, Joey somebody.
Okay.
I did pitching with him.
Okay.
There were like 3 gentlemen who I worked with constantly. Because, as you know, not only was Satchel Paige one of the greats,
Yes.
the dude,
Yeah.
he also had a very particular pitching style.
Oh,
His
yes.
his leg would go up. He was a showman amongst other than being, in addition to being an incredible athlete. And so I worked with your department. Joey was his first name, and he is the nephew of
one of the all-time greats.
one of the all-time greats.
Okay.
So I worked with him, and there were two other gentlemen who I worked with pre-production, during rehearsal, and during production, constantly to sell that I was Satchel Paige on the mound.
Did you play any sports as a kid, or
I did.
what'd you do?
I played soccer.
Okay. That's the, I guess, British upbringing in the Caribbean and what have you. That's your
exactly.
Okay.
And I played soccer, or as it's called in England, football.
Football. Yeah, I know.
And
yeah,
I was good. I was good. But and I was also track and field. I was a sprinter, and then I transitioned as I got older to cross country.
Well, because we have a crack staff here. Joey Banks, Ernie's relative.
Come on, Joey Banks.
Joey Banks, and he was the one who helped you pitch as Satchel Paige.
How do you do that?
How do we do this?
No, how do you get the info so quickly?
Yeah, I don't know. We just
got it like that.
It's the internet.
Duh.
Next
right.
one for you, Delroy Lindo. True or false? You got your role in Get Shorty over Samuel L. Jackson.
No, not over Samuel. False.
Okay.
So the answer is false.
Okay.
Sam was doing something else.
Okay.
Sam was not available. Let's be clear about that.
Okay.
And actually, I believe, if I'm accurate, if memory serves, they wanted Sam because Sam's a wonderful actor, but also they were looking to reteam him with John Travolta because they had just had a huge success with Pulp Fiction.
I see.
And Sam was not available. That's when they came to me.
What was it like on that set? It just seemed it was such a fun movie to take in. I'm just wondering what it was.
It was, okay, let me be honest. First of all, it was a terrific script. I remember reading the script and thinking, whoa. Then I read the book.
The Elmore Leonard book.
Dutch Leonard, Elmore Leonard. And I said, oh, great book and a wonderful adaptation on the screenplay. And it was a really, really good experience. It was very rich, very full. But I have to say it was my first time working on after working with Spike, I had done 3 films with Spike, back to back to back. Malcolm X, Crooklyn, and Clockers. And I got offered Get Shorty on the back of doing those 3 films. And after working with Spike, which is a certain experience, this was the first film that I did with major movie stars, and even though I had done Malcolm X with Denzel, who's a major movie star, this was slightly different, and it took me a minute to adjust. I'll give you a funny story.
Sure.
My first day on set, I walked into my camper, and there were bags of Adidas equipment, a couple bags of Adidas. And I opened up the bags, and there were sneakers in there were sweats, there were sweaters, T-shirts. And I picked up the bags, and I walked outside, and I said to one of the ADs, I said, excuse me, these bags were in my room. There must be a mistake. Because I didn't, and they said, no, that's for you. That's swag. Oh.
That's the first swag bag you've ever received?
That was the first swag.
Oh, wow.
It's on the set of Get Shorty?
On the set of Get Shorty.
Who's the one who
Now, Spike had been very, very generous with me in as much as, for instance, on Malcolm X, I got some of the suits, Crooklyn. I'd always gotten things from the films that I'd worked on, but like official swag, like from a company.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first time.
Well, I mean, Spike must have had a Nike relationship. This is Adidas bag. I mean, Spike was Mars Blackman before he was when he was doing all this stuff.
And as I said, just to be clear, I was given on those productions the stuff that I want in the film.
Yeah.
But to walk into my camper and see 2 bags full of stuff. No, this is there must be a mistake.
Was that Travolta's doing? Who was it? Do we remember who was doing it?
We don't care. I took it. I don't care who's doing it.
It's stuff we all get.
That's right.
I got 2 more for you, Delroy Lindo. True or false? Working with Denzel Washington on Malcolm X was the very first time you had ever met him.
No, false. Denzel and I were students together.
Where?
At the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco.
When was this?
1977.
No kidding.
Yep. First year.
You and Denzel Washington are taking lessons together, act classes.
Well, he was in a different cohort. He was in a different group, but we were all our first years together. He was in one group, I was in another, but that's when I met Denzel. And he left after the first year. I stayed a second year. Denzel left because his, at that time, television career was already taking off. He called me a few months after he had
St. Elsewhere? That's what he was on.
St. Elsewhere.
No kidding.
He was working with, check this out. Yeah. He was working with John Cassavetes on something. Okay. And called me and said, yeah, man. So the answer to the question is that is false. He and I, Denzel and I, been together at ACT.
So what was it like for you to be working with Denzel Washington on a Spike Lee film of this significance?
Fabulous. It was incredible. Yeah, we when I auditioned for the part, and I read opposite Denzel, and there was a I don't want to say ease, just the familiarity. It made the process that much more comfortable. It was terrific working with him on that film, and it was terrific working on that film in particular.
I mean, is there any ad-libbing with him or anything like that? Or you, like, what's it like being in a scene with him?
There may have been a little ad-libbing.
Sure.
There were a couple things that I added in some scenes, but it was a well-written script. And when you have good material, you know, there's kind of sort of no need.
Well, it's a Spike Lee joint. So what you got a good Spike Lee story that you're willing to share with us, Delroy Lindo, about being directed by him or anything like that?
Okay, I have a wonderful story.
Please.
It's too long. I'm going to give you the short version.
Okay.
I had auditioned for Malcolm X. I did 2 auditions. A second audition was in New York. And I had to, after the audition, I had to get on a plane to come to Los Angeles because I was doing reshoots on another film that I had done. I do the audition in New York. I get on the plane. I go to Los Angeles. When I land in Los Angeles, my agent at that time says, "You got the part." Oh, dang, wonderful. Then he told me what the monetary offer was. No, man, I'm not working for that. So no. You tell them, you do your. No, I'm not working for that. So I then start getting messages that Spike wants to talk to me. I got like 3 messages in the course of like 4 or 5 days. Spike wants to talk to you. No, I'm not talking to Spike.
You're putting him on ice.
I'm putting him on ice. No, man, I'm saying to the agent, y'all do your thing. I'm not talking to Spike. No, man, y'all just give me some more money. After the 4th attempt by Spike to try speaking with me, I get a call from my agent. The offer has been rescinded. And I remember very clearly. Now, my wife had been saying, when she heard Spike wanted to talk to me, my wife said, talk to Spike. No, I'm not talking to Spike. I ain't talking to Spike. Let the agents do their thing. Then it was a Friday afternoon. We were out here in Los Angeles, in a house up in the Hollywood Hills, the pool, blah, blah. I get a call from my agent at the time. The offer's being rescinded.
Mm-hmm.
My wife says I was gray. I came back. She said, what's the matter? I said, they just pulled the offer. I told you to talk to Spike. They pulled the offer. Wait. So I get Spike's producer on the phone, John Killick. I say, John. He said, no, man, we've offered it to somebody else. I said, well, let me talk to Spike.
Did you get him?
Wait. So we've made an offer. So I was on my way back to New York. I did get Spike. It was a Sunday evening, and Spike said, "Man, I know, man. John told me you'd offered it to somebody else." He said, "Yeah. Well, who'd you offer it to?" And they had offered it to Sidney Poitier.
Oh.
But as much respect as I have for Sidney, I felt that Sidney wouldn't do it because Sidney was doing another film.
Okay.
Your research department.
Yes.
What's the film? Your research department. What's the film that Sidney did about computer hackers? Dan Aykroyd was in it, I think.
So he was doing that instead of Malcolm X?
Sneakers.
Not instead.
Sneakers.
Sneakers.
It's the internet, Delroy. It's the internet.
Sneakers.
And my people.
I knew that Sidney was doing Sneakers because I had also auditioned for Sneakers.
Okay.
I knew he was doing it.
So you had the inside information?
But also, I also felt like, no, West Indian Archie is my. So Spike said, Sidney has the script for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't do it, the party's yours. I'll call you tomorrow. This was a Sunday evening. Monday evening, he called me and says, you're in. And the monetary offer
Yes.
that he had offered is exactly what I did the film for. So all you young actors out there, it's not always about the money.
Right.
Had I not done Malcolm X, I can't imagine.
I know. Last one for you, Delroy Lindo. True or false? You performed all your own stunts and Gone in 60 Seconds, but you wrecked a BMW. It's true.
It's true.
You wrecked a BMW?
I wrecked a BMW. I didn't wreck it, but I smashed the front of it. Which is wreck. I smashed the BMW and a fire hydrant with me behind the wheel of the BMW. We came together. We had a coming together, which is not scripted. So yes, that is true.
I love the number of ways you just verbalized something to not confirm that you wrecked it. You and the front fender and a hydrant came together.
And that's true.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.